Welcome to another Digital Service Squad webinar. And today we're talking about getting the most out of Meta Business Suite. But first, just to run through the Digital Main Street program, of course, is brought to you by the Ontario government, the Ontario BIA Association, and the Toronto Association of BIAs. And here locally in South Georgian Bay and Grey County, we're managed by the Small Business Enterprise or the Business Enterprise Center of Grey County and I always trip up on that. The South Georgian Bay Small Business Enterprise Center, they manage our presence and our activity and make sure that we're delivering the best to businesses in the area. And that's what we're here for. And just a spiel as well about, we're going to try and cover off your Meta Business Suite account. And like all of our webinars, we try to cover from some sort of simple basic things to some more advanced things. And, we're not going to be able to get to maybe everything for everybody. So if there are specific questions that, you're not getting out of it, or you need more basic or more advanced hands-on support, you can definitely book a consultation with our Digital Service Squad to get that support, get those questions answered. And we will put the link to our booking calendar in the chat, which I have enabled. So you can, at any point, if you have any questions, you can feel free to drop them in the chat or in the Q&A, and we will answer them as we go. And you'll see I'm just sharing sort of the whole presentation screen here because I'm going to be jumping around. I am going in hands-on with my Meta Business account, and I've got a couple accounts set up because I was trying to set up one to show everything, but Facebook had other plans. They shut me down. They restricted my account because, rightfully so. It was a dummy account that I created for the purpose of this webinar. So I was using a fake name and they didn't like that. So, but it's, we're going to go through some examples of how to use your Meta Business Suite account. And we're going to get into, actually, why don't I jump over here to exactly our agenda today. So this is what we're going to be talking about. So we're going to look at navigating and organizing your dashboard within Meta Business Suite. We're going to specifically look at your inbox, so managing messages, comments, and automating responses, which is a really cool feature. We're going to look a lot at scheduling posts. This is one of my favorite features within Meta Business Suite. It's definitely improved over the years, and it can really help your social media, especially specifically your Facebook and Instagram accounts, just to be more effective and allow you to be more efficient with your time to schedule those posts out in advance. And then we're also going to look at more advanced setup and specifically look at the business account settings and delegating access. And so business account settings, this is one thing that I sort of learned through the process of setting up this dummy account, which was you can have access to a Meta Business Suite account, but it doesn't automatically create a business account. If that's not confusing, you're not alone. And here's another quick disclaimer that hopefully I don't rant too much. Sometimes I know Meta Business Suite can be a little frustrating at times with this, naming and hierarchy and stuff, but I'm going to hopefully clarify a lot of that stuff and make it a little bit easier for you to navigate and make your way around. So again, the business account is actually separate from Meta Business Suite. You access and control your account, your business account through Meta Business Suite, but they are actually two slightly different things. And I'll get into that at the point where my dummy account ends and where the restrictions begin. And then I'll jump over to my own personal account that we'll look at the more advanced setup within that business suite. Because yeah, Facebook didn't let me set up a business account with my fraudulent dummy account. But without further ado, let's jump in here. And thanks, Sam, for the shout out. We're glad that you are enjoying the programming, and stay tuned. Lots more coming. So everyone see my screen okay? Get the thumbs up. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So so this is my fake business that I created. It's a restaurant called Everything is Waffles. I will admit this webinar is sprinkled with a light business pitch for this restaurant. Not really, but it's a funny idea that I had. So this is, when you first set up a page, because this is brand new, I just created it, and I'm looking at the page from facebook.com. So I'm just going to show you exactly like, how do we even get to Meta Business Suite? First thing you want to make sure, because this is sort of new too, when you go to your account up in the top right-hand corner, they've now enabled, and if you own multiple pages, which I do on my personal account, not all pages allow you to use Facebook as the page or brand yet, but I think they're rolling over all of those accounts so that you can and will be able to use Facebook as your business. So again, that's kind of new. So when you're looking at your page, you want to make sure that you are using Facebook as your page. But again, if that's not an option for you yet, because some pages haven't been given that functionality, don't worry, you'll still be able to access your business suite. But I'm looking at my page here, and I'm going to open up the menu, and right here we see Meta Business Suite. So we're going to pop over to that. And so let's take a look first at the dashboard. So again, there's no setup involved from this perspective. Like when you first create your page, I'm pretty sure your business suite is an option from the get-go. You'll be able to access this without any other real setup from Facebook's end. So what it's going to give you is just sort of this dashboard of alerts right up at the top. So, and this is interesting too, or important, I think, to mention, is that because fraud is a prevalent part of owning a business, and being vigilant and looking out for things. Because so this happened to me a while ago. I got an email that said my Facebook page, committed like a crime, not a crime, but like, yeah, I had violated the terms of service and it was going to be shut down. And this was just in my email, and there was a link in it. But essentially, if you get those emails, and I'm just saying this because it is very prevalent, come into your business suite account, and if there's no alerts here, then that email is definitely fraudulent and you can delete it. So, but in this case, this alert is legit. Like I said, I had created this account and they immediately shut me down because I was basically not who I said I am. So that's fine. And I'll show you, actually, because also getting your account restricted is a common thing that can happen as well. So I'll show you how we can deal with that as well. But because I'm sort of new here, they're giving me some sort of prompts on how to get started, kind of ways to start exploring. I've got a to-do list, which is not populated yet, but then it's also going to show me my my posts, and I can get just a quick read on, engagement, comments, and that kind of thing. Oh, I have 3 comments on that now. Interesting. Okay, so so there's not much to do or see here yet. On our main navigation, though, we've got our notifications, we've got our inbox, posts and stories. So let me recap here. So inbox is where we'll find sort of where we can put all of our messages, both for Facebook and Instagram, in one spot, as well as comments for both platforms. As long as you've connected your accounts, which I've done for this dummy account, I've got an Instagram and a Facebook page connected, and we'll take a look at the inbox in a second. Posts and stories is where we can not only get a read of or see sort of a list of all of our past posts and stories. We can also create some. Same with the planner. We'll be able to see what is scheduled, and it's a place where we can actually just create new posts. That create post button is sort of scattered all over the place through here, so you'll find it in a lot of different places. Along with ads, creating ads, creating posts and creating ads are 2 things they really want you to do. So they're going to put those buttons all over the place and make it sort of one of the easiest things to do. So again, we'll see an ads button there. We've got insights, and then all tools. So here is where we're going to find everything else that is accessible through our Meta Business Suite account. We're not going to go into all of these items. I will kind of touch on a few. One thing that annoys me, though, again, I'll try not to ramble and complain too much, but there's an ads center and then there's ads manager. I don't really know what the purpose of ads center is. Aside from, you can that's where you can find your reporting. So, okay, that's sort of makes a little bit of sense. But then your ads manager is where I always recommend to go and actually create your ads and access all of the really in-depth tools for your ads. You can also create audiences. So not something we've delved into too much, but it's actually a really cool way to create audiences within Facebook. So then when you go to your ads manager and create an ad, you don't have to think about, who am I advertising to today? You can just pick that audience that's been created from your list, and away you go. It saves a ton of time. Events manager has to do with your pixel and setting up what are some of the events you want to track, mainly conversions usually. And instant forms is if you have a lead generation ad running, you can have a form right in the ad that people will, put in their information and hit submit, so you can collect leads without having to actually go, having to send people to another website, which is pretty cool. I've had some mixed success with those types of ads because it almost makes it too easy for people to just like click and submit their information, which is often just populated because Facebook knows who they are. So they just put in their information. And I've found that, a lot of people will accidentally submit their information, and then you contact them for, as part of this ad, and they say, oh, I didn't submit my info. Anyway, so that's an option there. Account quality. So that's where I will find more information about my restriction on this account and how to fix it. We've got billing. So if you're running ads, that's where you'll get all your invoicing. There's business apps. Get started is also down here in our main menu. That's just, again, if we're getting started and learning, want to explore the platform a little bit more, this will sort of help us do that. Page settings, that's when I'm going to get into the more advanced, well, there's page settings, but then there's your business settings, which are, again, two different things. I'm going to jump into our business settings with my other account as we get more advanced in that. You've got your page view, you've got ads reporting, insights, and then selling products, you've got your commerce, orders, and services. So commerce, of course, is if you want to set up your Facebook or Instagram shop. That's a really great tool. I'm not going to have time to get into too much depth today, but that's a great reason to book a consult with a squad member to work on setting up your commerce account if that's something you're interested in. I'll give you some tips though today on before you do that. There's some stuff in the settings that we want to look at. And then orders, you can manage orders through that, and services. I will probably jump in. I would like to jump into services actually, which would be cool. But so just going back to this main navigation, what's kind of cool is that you can edit this navigation. So if there are things here that don't, are not applicable, you don't want to see, you can actually turn some of those off. You can't turn off the home, notifications, or all tools, but things like inbox, planner, post and stories. If you wanted, let's say you wanted ads manager instead of ads on that main menu, you can do that. If you are selling products and you have your Facebook or Instagram shop set up, you can put your commerce account right there. So then again, it'll show up in that main navigation. And let's say you wanted it like right up at the top. You can move these around, organize them any way you want. And you can put up to 10 tools on that main navigation. So then boom, we've got our commerce account right there. We've got ads manager. Just a really simple way to organize this in the way that works for you and your business and the tools that you use. Actually, something I haven't done, but it's pretty sweet. So we got a question here. Posts are no problem for me. However, I'm curious about Facebook and Instagram ads. Are Google ads more effective or less cost effective than Facebook or Instagram ads? So that is it's a pretty loaded question, but let's see if I can answer it in a timely fashion. So, I mean, first thing I'll say too is, we did the Meta Business Suite Meta Ads Manager and Google Ads webinar on that whole topic. So I definitely go into more depth within that webinar. So, that is up on the Enterprise Center YouTube channel that I would maybe suggest checking out, or I mean, we can connect directly, of course, Gerard. But I mean, for everyone else, so there's a big difference between the two. It's hard to compare them because, on one hand, you've got your social audience on Facebook and Instagram, which is very different from a search audience or a display audience that you can access through Google. So, I mean, unfortunately, the best thing to do is really kind of test those out and see which one might be better for you. The bottom line is always set up that conversion tracking so that you know exactly what is performing and what is not. And then you'll get a clear readout on what's working, what's not. Because again, it depends on your product, depends on the audience. But I mean, to sum it up, we've had good success on both platforms. for different products, different services. So it just really depends. Oh, by the way, I'm also forgot to mention, we've got Amy and Rochelle and Lene on the call here as our panelists. Lene's in the background, but from the team, from the Digital Service Squad. And I was just going to say, could one of you try and find that link? It is on Basecamp, or you can search on YouTube for the Small Business Enterprise Center. Okay, and then really quickly, what does conversion mean? Conversion just means a sale. So when you put out an ad, and well, it doesn't have to mean a sale, but like oftentimes, if you're working retail, a conversion will be you put up an ad, someone clicked on the ad, and they purchased a product that you were selling. That would be a conversion. You've converted them from a lead to a client or a sale. So it's just sort of an advertising buzzword meaning sale. But again, it doesn't have to always mean sale. If you are a service-based business and you're trying to just get leads, a conversion could be they submitted their information on a form, and now you can contact them, and they're maybe sort of interested in what you're selling, and that is still important to you as an advertiser or as a business, but yeah, we still call it a conversion. Okay, so oh guys, that waffles with salmon and cream cheese, where can you order that? Yeah, so though this is just my dummy account that I created, a restaurant called Everything is Waffles. It's just a fun idea that I had because I do like waffles, and just making everything out of making waffles into everything. Okay, so moving on, let's jump into the inbox, because this is, I think, a really great feature for, as we use our Meta Business Suite account. It's a big part of what this is for, what it can do for us. So again, I've just created my page and my Instagram account. I've linked the two, and here's where I can access oh, I think you forgot the link, Amy. Here's where we can access and see all of our messages and our comments for both of those accounts. So right now I've just got one message from my Instagram account. And so you'll be able to see these with a little icon here. And there's, so some of the cool features here are that we can sort of organize these messages, right? We can move them to spam, we can delete them, we can star them, or mark them as follow-up. We can mark as unread, so if we want to leave it for someone else. And a big part of this, actually, I should say, is a big important reason to do this is if you're working with a team. I do know that, when you're hiring, especially someone to just, manage your social media, it doesn't often involve managing the comments or messages, right? When those might be building up, it often gets left unattended, which is a bit of a problem, right? Because you could have like people asking for orders in here, but if you're not on top of it, you could miss it, which has definitely happened to me too, I will admit. But we want to avoid that. And so, if someone is managing your social media, let's say, here's ways that they can manage also your messages and comments in a way that also will then bring you into the process too. Thanks for putting that link in there, Rochelle. So, so what you can do is you can mark it as important, mark as follow-up, or move it to done. So let's say, I'm managing this account for my client here, and I see like maybe this is probably a message that I could respond to, but if not, if it was something that like the owner needed to address, I could, mark it as starred. So then when the owner comes in, they can filter these by just follow-up messages and see all the starred ones there that are important for them, that they know like these are ones that I need to follow up with. So it's just kind of a cool. And then once they're done, they can just mark as done, and that's that. Now, one thing I did want to mention, so what's interesting though is between Facebook and Instagram, there are different tools, or when it comes to especially like the replies. So Facebook, of course, allows you to add different things like avatar stickers, emojis, photos, and GIFs. And so that's kind of a fun thing that you can just, insert into your responses. Whereas Instagram actually has a cool feature where you can insert a saved reply. And by the way, ignore this, by the way, this is a different, that's a different plugin for my browser. It just shows up wherever because it's my AI copywriting assistant that is, you won't see that. So this little robot guy. But anyway, so this is an instant saved reply. So for Instagram only, in this case, we can create some auto, or not auto, but saved replies. So if we see that we're replying the same thing over and over again, then we can just insert those automatically. So you can see here, I created two. I can just create a new one. And again, this is handy if there's someone managing your social media for you. They can just, if you create enough of these, they can just do that, pick the one that's appropriate, and and do the reply to those messages for you, or those comments for you. So I'll skip on that, but you can also add some personalization there. I will go into automation. So this is a manual feature where I'd have to select, okay, I'm gonna, so in this case, yeah, Be Fresh Media, that was me, said bread is for suckers, because of course waffles are better. And the response was waffles, waffles, and more waffles. So, and that was just selected from this list of predetermined responses, and you can hit send. So when we talk about automations, that's when we can actually like eliminate this person who has to go and select that. We can actually go up here and automate some of those responses. So we can see here, there's some suggestions for us, things like away messages. We can identify unanswered messages, custom keywords, page recommended. Here's a common one too, probably. So hours. So if you get a lot of people asking you, when are you open? What are your hours? You can just set up an automated message. So we can say, well, all we have to do is turn that on. What channel? We can say Messenger. So I guess some of them will not always be for everything, because I did set up another one where you were able to do Messenger or Instagram, but this one is just allowing me to send on Messenger. And so we can see that this will happen when Everything is Waffles receives a message asking about your business hours, and it will send this message instantly if the chat has been inactive for the past 30 minutes. So then you can customize what that message is. So either we'll receive your message and someone will respond shortly, or you can put in like, here are our store hours. And there's a button that you can add as well. So it's pretty awesome, and a way to just really automate that process of, responding to frequently asked questions and just frequently asked questions. There's no other way to put that. Questions that people ask all the time that take up a lot of your time to just punch out. And there's a whole bunch of other suggestions. How are we doing for time? Okay. So, oh, and then one last thing too, with regards to the inbox here, we can, if we click on someone, actually just in Facebook. Oh no. Here we go. Okay. So, oh, I think I can't see it anymore, but basically you can create a contact card. So there was some information on this side where you can make notes about that person. You can add their contact information. You can, make any follow-up notes or, things of importance there that could be necessary, especially when, multiple people are using this account and accessing it, and sort of, if you have a team or multiple people trying to stay on top of messages, the contact card can be really helpful in managing those contacts. Yes. Okay. So Martin asked, how do we add an admin for another user? I'm going to get into that a little bit later. I will get into the business settings. So delegating access. Although, so here's what's frustrating though. There are sort of two ways to do that. Let me see. So the first, what I usually recommend doing is if you go to your page settings, this is going to spit me back out to facebook.com. And yeah, because this is buried. It's really frustrating. So you're going to go to your page settings, new pages experience, because that's descriptive. And then we're going to go, page access, right? So here's where I usually start by adding people to a page. So you have Facebook access. So that will allow you to add people to Facebook access. Means you can switch into the page and manage it directly. You can make posts and stuff, and you can also set like a higher, lower level of Facebook access. But then even below that, you have task access. So that's community managers. They can moderate chat, comments, suspend or remove people who violate community standards, and see all admins of the page. So there's sort of two different levels there. But I usually, if I'm going to add someone to the business account, I'll start in here, adding them, because then it sort of makes it a little bit easier. But I'll get into that in a second, or in a couple minutes, about delegating more access in your business account. But this is one way to do it. And I swear, it drives me crazy how hidden that is. And they seem to change it often and make it harder to find, but that's where it is. So jumping back over to Meta Business Suite. And by the way, yeah, just a quick note there too. I pointed out the URL. So I know I'm accessing just like the Facebook end of things, because when I look at my URL, it is facebook.com settings, as opposed to when I'm in Business Suite, it is business.facebook.com. So that's just one way of, you can quickly get to your Meta Business Suite account by just typing in business.facebook.com instead of having to go through Facebook, go into your page. Like it's the fastest way. You can just bookmark this too, bookmark your home here. That's what I do. Okay, so let's talk quickly about posts and stories. So this is another really great feature that I like a lot. I use often, and again, it helps with teams. So if you have someone else managing your account for you, it's a way for you to stay on top of what's going out, what is scheduled, and so you can just sort of review it, make sure it's all ready to go, and exactly the way you want it, essentially. So in here, though, is just a readout of past posts and reels and stories. So if you want to just get a sense of like your reach, your engagement, your comments, that's where this will show up. So a bit of a reporting, aspect as to how things are doing in terms of engagement, and getting some feedback on that. Yeah, as I said, the buttons to create posts are sort of everywhere. So we can find them up here, or if we go down to our planner, we'll find them there as well. And the planner is essentially just a calendar. A calendar that shows, again, our past posts. So these went out yesterday, and where we can create new ones and schedule a post, a story, a reel, or an ad. So I'm going to show you how to create a post real quick and schedule that, and some of the features that I really like about this. So again, because I have my Facebook and Instagram accounts connected, I can say, let's do a post. Oh, it doesn't like my connection actually, but I will, if it's done properly, I will be able to just select both of them or one of them, and away we go. We can then add media to that, so add a photo or video, and then we can add our text. So this is my post, and then we can add some hashtags, and this is cool too. We get a bit of we can use their hashtag tool. You'll show recent hashtags that we've used. You can save hashtags, or find some popular hashtags. So if that's part of your, especially Instagram strategy, that can definitely be helpful. And then scheduling, this is where really comes into play, where this gets really handy. You can set the date, the time. You can look at active time. So when are people most active on your page, and it'll let you boost it too, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to schedule this. Okay. And then they want me to get the app. I'm not going to get the app. I'm not. Oh no, I don't want to boost it. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. Out of here. Confirm. Okay. So this is my post. So here's where we can see the post that's been scheduled. We can make changes to it. We can edit it. We can duplicate it. We can reschedule it, or just move it to drafts, or delete it completely. And Maria asks, how can we reuse posts? So I'm pretty sure we can. So this is post I just clicked on from yesterday. If I don't think I can copy it. I'm not sure that we can reuse, maybe not a Facebook post.
It is pretty easy to just exactly where you are, pull up your caption and everything, and then just copy paste, and then you just have to re-upload your asset from your computer. So
very true. Although, yeah, although
workaround.
here is an option as well. I think some of those other ones, for some reason, didn't want me to be able to do this, but this one allows me to duplicate this post. So I can, if I duplicate it, I can then actually like reschedule that post. Once I fill out all this stuff, it'll give me the option to publish it, and I'll be able to schedule it from there. So I think it depends on the post type, I think. But yeah, as Rochelle said, it's easy enough to just open it up, copy the text out, re-upload the assets, and away you go. As a form of advertising, how do you feel about boosted posts? Yeah, so that to me is an easy question. I don't like boosted posts. I do think is a bit of a waste of money. And here's the reason why. I mean, when you boost the post, a lot of people miss a lot of the details about, setting your audience. As an example, the default when you boost a post, for any business in Canada, the default audience is all of Canada. So, if you're a local bakery or service provider that's just wants to advertise to, your Simcoe County or Grey County, like, and you miss that, like, you're going to be advertising to all of Canada. Your $50, $100 is going to just be gone in an instant, and you will have advertised to a bunch of people that you didn't want to, you didn't mean to, and so that's where I definitely recommend exploring Google Ads Manager, exploring Meta Ads Manager that I showed right here. Meta Ads Manager, it will allow you to control those details in a way that's just more structured. It's in your face. You can't really miss it, and it's a good way to create those audiences and targeted ads that are much better than the boosted post. Cool. Okay. So that's the planner. It's pretty basic, pretty straightforward. Although, hang on, I got a bit of time. Let me show stories here, because stories is an interesting one too. Let me see. I'm going to add some media. Let's pull this over here. What do we got? Oh, here we go. That's right. I've got some funny AI generated images that I was playing with, that are pretty disturbing and hilarious. But so essentially, if you're not familiar with stories are, they're 15 seconds in length, I believe. And so 15 seconds of an image and or video. You can add little video clips to these as well. And as you can see, the timer running across the top, that's how long this will be displayed for. So, it's a good gauge. If you put in a lot of text, you'll be able to see like, oh, that's not enough time to read all that text. Maybe we'll split it into 2 slides or 3 slides. But essentially they appear one after another, kind of like a little slideshow. And they only last for 24 hours within your stories. And yeah, you can do stories on Facebook and Instagram, although I think Instagram stories are probably more popular. But I like to cover my bases and create them for both. But yeah, essentially, so you can crop that photo. We can go vertical. I like to take up the full screen. Oh, it won't let me because it's too small, but let's just go with original. We can add text to this. We'll go here. And I will say, so the creative ability within this tool versus your app, on your phone, you certainly have a lot more creative tools on your phone using the Instagram app. But at least this, you can schedule it and get it out the door. That's one of the benefits there. You can add stickers. They don't have, there used to be like 4. now they've got a couple more. So we're going to go with a sticker. Oh, there we go. Sticker added. You can resize it, angle it, whatever. And swipe up link. So only if you have 10,000 followers, I believe, is kind of unfortunate. But or wait, can we? I think Facebook story.
There is a special workaround to get yourself a bootleg swipe up link if you do not have the 10,000 followers. And that was in my Instagram for Business webinar. So ooh. I will post the link to that in the chat.
Nice. Although, so looks like Facebook, yeah, so Facebook will let you do the swipe up link. Instagram here will not. It says I need 10,000 followers, but yeah, definitely check out Rochelle's webinar because that's kind of cool. Link.com and there you go. So then you'll see, so if you have like a cool product here and an offer, you can say swipe up, see more, and they can click the link to go right to that product and make a purchase. That's pretty sweet. And then so here it's a little bit different. So we're gonna, if you hit the arrow down, so share story will be immediately. The arrow down will be I think we want to, yeah, hit that. So then arrow down, schedule our story. Again, we'll put in the date and the time. We're going to save that. And now when we exit out of here, oh, right. So you have to set that. I always get that mixed up. So now we'll see it's scheduled for March 30th. Now we have to hit the schedule story button and it will be scheduled. When I refresh takes a second, it'll populate now on this calendar. So we're good to go. Okay, so that's kind of the main, like one of the main cool features about Meta Business Suite. Next, I'm going to get into our business account. So as I mentioned, before actually really quick, account quality. So I went to all tools here, account quality. I mentioned this account has restrictions on it because I set up a dummy account and it's a fake person. And basically, this does happen though all the time, even if you are a legitimate person, legitimate business. Facebook will from time to time shut down your ad account if you're doing something that they don't like, or sometimes it's just if we set things up really quickly, they need time to verify who you are and that you're not up to anything nefarious. So what you can do if your ad account is shut down is pop in here to that account quality and get some information on what's going on, why it's been shut down. They're still very vague, I must say. But what we can do is we can, there was a, account overview, I think is where I want to go. Here we go. Yeah, so on that side menu, account overview, here's where it just gives a quick, like, your account has been restricted. So your advertising access is restricted for security purposes, blah, blah, blah. Here's what we've shut down, disabled these different assets. And here's what's important, what you can do. So they give us what they need from me to release that restriction, to appease the Facebook gods and to get my account back up and running. And in this particular case, they want to confirm my identity, rightfully so, because I was not a real person. Ben Frosch is not a real person. But if anything like that happens to you, that's where you're going to go and get it resolved. A lot of times, though, you don't have to necessarily confirm your identity. It will just be have them review the account, and then within like 24 hours or less, it will be reactivated, and you'll get a notice saying it was shut down in error. Right. So yeah, Mary is saying if my Facebook business page is generated from my personal one, which by the way is no longer an option. You have to have a personal page to create a business account, or business page, business account, whatever. They want to know that you're a real person. That's why this one was shut down. You know, I was trying to create an account where I could show, you know, all my business settings and stuff comfortably. Yeah, the process, the Facebook didn't like it. But essentially, I'm going to jump over in a second to show business settings. But so no, to answer your question, if you give someone permission to work in your business page, they will not see any of your personal page or have access to your personal Facebook account. That is just you. And going back to where I was saying earlier about you know, where to add that person in your page settings. Whew, okay. Oh, 5 minutes. Did not give myself a whole heck of a lot of time, but I'm going to jump over here. Okay, so this is a same thing. We're looking at a Meta Business Suite account. This is another dummy page though, and business account that we created. So once you've created your business account, and you will, yeah, you sort of have to do that like when you create an ad account for your business. I don't have time to get into that right this second, but the difference, so when I'm up here in Meta Business Suite, and we see our drop down, we're going to see all of our assets, the pages that we have access to and that we've created. We've got our digital service squad. So this is my business account that I've created that owns a bunch of assets. And if I click on that little gear icon, I'm going to be directed to the settings for this business account. And it looks like I want to be able to add Rochelle to that account. I think I want to just wait on that because I'm going to dive into it in a sec. So we're in the business settings, but I want to also go to more business settings. Good old Facebook just burying things deep within the Facebook, or deep within the nether regions of their account. This is super, super, super important. Okay, I don't have a lot of time, but here's where we can really get a sense of our business account, what we own, what is connected, what's set up, and it's really important. I recommend you go in here and make sure that you own your page, because a lot of times other people will bring your business page into their business account. You know, if you're working with an agency or someone to manage your ads, maybe if they've brought your page into their business account, they now own it and you do not, which is not good. So instead, what we want to do in that case is, if we want to add people to manage our account, we're going to set up an email. We're going to send them an email right from here. So I'm going to go Amy Kells. There you go, because I had you on copy paste. Here's where we can set up their access, and right, got to the business settings. I might have to back up a minute there. Let me see. So essentially, yeah, we want to add selected assets. I want to go classic pages. Right. So this is where it gets a little crazy, a little, but very granular, right? Because what I'm saying to Facebook is, okay, we want to add Amy from our team to this business account. And here are all the assets that we can get down to the specifics of what she can see, what she can control, what she can access from the page. So I'm going to say, okay, this DMS is the best page. Amy is going to be able to control content and see insights, but not revenue. Ad accounts, we've created an ad account for that. So I want her to be able to see that and manage it. Let's say pixels, there's no pixel setup. I could specify which Instagram account and what level of access she has to that. And then I'm going to send out that invite. So this is like the best way to manage, maintain the security of your page, making sure that only the right people have access to it. As you know, if Amy was a contractor and just needed access for a term, as soon as that term is done, I can remove her from having access to any of those assets or all of them at once. So that's really important. I'm probably at time 11:01. Okay, I might have to wrap this up, but definitely come check this out. And the last thing I'll say is make sure your business info is filled out in here. So you want your legal business name, address, phone number, website, and confirm your email address. This will help reduce any shutdowns or restrictions that are applied to your account. If you have that information in there, if it's verified, it's really important. So, wow. Okay, that was a lot. I'm going to just pop back over to here and here to say questions. Any questions as we sort of wrap this up? I apologize for going over time a little bit, but there's just so much that I want to cover, and it's such an in-depth platform, and there's so much to cover. But yeah, hopefully you found that somewhat helpful. Right. So, okay, how did you get to business settings? So I will show you in this one. So in this is my Ben Frosh, everything is waffles account. If I go to business settings from here, it tells me I haven't created that business account. So all I'm going to do is go to create that account. I'm going to name it. I want to name it, everything is waffles. I like business. When you saw in the business settings, things are stacked up. We've got pages and we've got ad accounts, we've got pixels. If we call everything, the same name, it gets super complicated. So I like to say, everything is waffles business account, everything is waffles page, everything is waffles ad account. I like to put that in the name so that when I look at them on a page, I know exactly what each blip is. So essentially I'd submit this and I'd create that business account. That's if you haven't done it already. Because I have on this account, when I'm home here, all I would do is I went to the business settings. There's different ways. You can go settings or this drop-down menu here. This is where I see the business name. And I'm going to just hit that gear icon for the settings. And then I'm going to go more business settings, which is convoluted. I know. I didn't make up the navigation. It's just what we have to deal with, unfortunately. So hopefully that answers that question. Any other questions as we wrap this up? Martin, you're welcome. I hope you found it helpful. I hope it wasn't too all over the place. But as I said, we are available for free consultation support as always. So Amy had put that, or Amy or Rochelle had put that link in the, not the comments, the chat. So definitely book that follow up with us if you have more questions. What we do find is that, a lot of times those assets in Business Manager get really messed up. Other people own them. They're not in the same place. So, helping to organize that is definitely something that we can do. So feel free to book those consultations. And thanks for coming today. And thank you to our panelists. Thanks for the team for backing me up, and appreciate you being here. And yeah, guys asking, we can definitely help set up Facebook Pixel for your businesses. So that's it for us. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.